Welcome to winning-stl, where we have conversations about how St. Louis can best compete and win in the battle for talent, jobs, growth, and equity. Winning-stl is sponsored by the Hartford Small Business Insurance, and we're at the train shed at St. Louis's Union Station in the midst of the St. Louis Aquarium, the St. Louis Wheel, and much more. Today, I'm speaking with Krisitn Sobolik, Chancellor at the University of Missouri of St. Louis. Krisitn, thanks so much for coming. Great to have you.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
So Krisitn, doing a little bit of reading for this discussion, I was really impressed by the results in the U.S. News and World Report college rankings at how well UMSL is doing by these measures. So maybe a chance for you to brag a little bit about your good report card.
Well, I will say that chancellors always love to brag for sure, Ian, and thank you for that opportunity. But we are excited. You know, the U.S. News and World Reports reflects the top institutions in the nation. And so we're compared on how well we provide student access, support, and ultimately success. And as we've developed as an institution, now coming into our 60th anniversary here, we've really leaned into that and risen up in the rankings. And of course, that reflects how well we're doing nationally, but most importantly, we want to make sure that we're aligning with and anchoring what we need to have happen here in St. Louis.
Krisitn, one of the things off camera you mentioned is, we're a hidden gem. We don't want to be a hidden gem anymore. Well, I think the secret was out when you've got a third party ranking you so highly in a number of categories, best value, just overall as a public institution. But the one that stood out to me was how well UMSL did in what they called social mobility. So maybe let's talk about that, because that, I think, gets to some of the things we try to talk about in this series of access and equity and inclusion and, doing better for the entire region. So give me your thoughts on that.
Our students at the university reflect the demographics of St. Louis. We have a broad, diverse student population, so we're providing that access and opportunity. But again, we have highest in the nation retention and graduation rates for those students. So we're not only providing access and opportunity, but we're delivering on that promise with high graduation rates. And that's what's important for the St. Louis region as we help drive that workforce. And I'm going to add one more key to that, and that is we're doing so by decreasing average student debt every single year, which is something as a parent I know that we're all thinking about, and we're thinking about for our students as well.
Wow, that's great. And as someone who's dealing with that in my own right, I can appreciate that on behalf of parents everywhere. So Krisitn, we were talking also off camera about the 2030 jobs plan, that if people don't know that, it was an effort by civic groups to come together and say, how do we plot out the pathway for St. Louis to be as dynamic as it can be and as competitive as it can be in the future? So tell me how closely UMSL does work with the business community in St. Louis. How does that impact your curriculum, your thinking, outcomes for students?
That's a multifaceted question,
quite a
Ian,
question.
for sure.
Yeah.
But going back to the 2030 jobs plan, that has been really instrumental for the growth and development of St. Louis as a resurgent city. We needed alignment, we needed a plan for moving forward, and that 2030 jobs plan is that plan to really illustrate how we can cohesively and collaboratively make an impact on the future of St. Louis. The very first tenet of that jobs plan is that we are going to collectively focus on hiring and contracting, meaning making an economic impact in St. Louis. And right now, UMSL co-leads with Edward Jones the St. Louis Anchor Action Network that is filled with 17 of some of the top organizations in this region, educational institutions like WashU and St. Louis University and St. Louis Community College, as well as the healthcare industries of SSM and BJC and Mercy, and some of our other top corporate partners to collectively pledge to increase our hiring and contracting by 10% annually in the St. Louis region. That's economic impact, and that's the collaboration that we need to see as a region to really launch St. Louis forward.
Krisitn, you have a lot riding as in your role on the success of our region. Is there anything that you would like to see that our region do? It could be civically, it could be corporately, it could be politically. What would you want to see us do? I guess that's practical. That to you would have really outsized impact.
I would say, Ian, that there's two things. One is just marketing and getting our word out, because we have so many assets. The second thing is we know that collaboration and breaking down barriers is going to lead to our future success. It's one of the things that, frankly, has held us back as a region. We need to all lean in to that collaboration with each other to make sure that we are collectively and cohesively working together, because that's what's going to help the St. Louis ecosystem. UMSL is a big partner in that. We are a collaborator and a convener in many instances, and we're so pleased with the way that the St. Louis ecosystem at all levels has helped with that, but we need to lean in more and not be afraid, because frankly, the future is about us working together and collaboratively.
Pretty strong answer, Krisitn. Listen, I want to thank you so much for coming down for this on a cold day. It's been very interesting, and it's encouraging, really, for me to see all the things that are happening at UMSL. I learned a lot just even prepping for this, and I think the theme I'm taking from today is a hidden gem no longer. Maybe that'll be our headline for this. Krisitn, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Really
Ian. I
appreciate it.
Appreciate being here. Thank you.